it has been an incredible day here at the MCG. 86,174 people coming to watch the final of the Women's World T20. An incredible effort by the crowd. Unfortunately for India, they seem to be perhaps a little bit spooked by the occasion, Lisa.
Yeah, and I actually thought it was going to be the Australians, because you've got to think of all of the players have been in this country. When it was spoken about at the end of 2016, everyone thought, okay, they want to split it and then they want to try and sell out the MCG. That's not going to happen. So, the Australians kept their nerve, whereas India, they just aren't used to the big occasions. And that's why I guess in our preview, we were saying that we felt Australia on a bigger stage would be able to keep their calm and nerve, and they were able to do it. The fact that India dropped Alyssa, Healy and Beth Mooney meant that they never got in the game, and you can't give those two players of that calibre a second chance.
They were very different innings. It was quite amazing. Alyssa Healy, I think I've described it, she was like a monster truck on berserk mode. But the way that Beth Mooney timed her innings sort of around Healy was just incredible to watch.
Yeah, the fact that Beth Mooney was able to see that Alyssa Healy was going, so she was like, I'm just going to sit and enjoy it from the non-strikers end. Drop and run, thank you very much. I'll get to the other end. Soon as Alyssa Healy got out, Beth Mooney also knew her role was to stay out there for as long as possible. And that's when we see her explode. We see her move around the crease. She's done that throughout this tournament. Those two, Healy and Mooney, incredible partnership. And then when you fast forward to the end of the match, Healy, player of the match, Beth Mooney, player of the tournament. Not surprised.
Yeah, top scorer of the tournament. She's been absolutely fantastic. For India, their fielding was, we talked about fielding perhaps being very decisive. There weren't just the drop catches, there were some misfields as well. And I guess when they came out to bat, you sort of suspected that it might have got away from them already.
184 on the board, and the fact that that's the highest total in a T20 World Cup final. India needed to have a rocket start, and they were looking to Shafali, Verma to do it. I felt at the halfway stage, certainly Australia were favourites still, but I was hoping that India, between Smriti Mandana and Shafali Verma, they were able to have a really strong power play of, maybe 55, 60, because it was a great batting deck. It was probably the best deck that we've seen throughout this tournament. A lot of pace and bounce, but unfortunately for India, the added bounce caused them some problems. And Australia got their length right against the top players, and they lost, 3 wickets in 3 overs, and it was always going to be hard. India could have chased maybe a 150 mark. They'd taken those catches and kept Australia to 150, 160. Then even if they lost those 3 wickets at the start, there was still a chance. But when you chase 180 plus in a final, it's tough.
It is tough, but I'm going to go into bat for the India team a little bit. Don't be too harsh on them, India fans, because you sense that this is a team that is only going to get better, particularly with a 16-year-old like Shafali Verma and Jemima Rodriguez around there, a host of young players.
Yeah, I've already seen a little bit of stuff on Twitter, and to be honest, I'm pretty disappointed that the Indian fans aren't supporting this side. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there, represent your country. That's what they're doing. They would have tried their hard. They played really good cricket up until the finals. And, all of the pundits that are out there, it's a completely different feeling being out there in the middle with all of the pressure, all of the hype. So unless you've been there and you've gone through it, then maybe just stay there and applaud what your team has been able to do, and hopefully take the game to a wonderul height back home.
Absolutely. It's certainly been taken to a wonderful height here. Just a word on the general atmosphere today, because I genuinely had chills. I was nearly in tears watching that build up. Such a celebration of young women, of girls. It was just incredible, and the tribute to past players as well.
Yeah, I can admit that I cried twice. Alyssa Healy and Elise Perry saw me whilst they were singing the anthems, me bawling my eyes out. And then I had to do something on digital as soon as Australia won the moment, and I walked out and I cried again. So, it's been a really emotional day for everyone. And I think credit goes to everyone that's played an important role. And it's not just female players, past and present. It's journalists like yourself, Mel, and organisations like CricBuzz that started supporting women's cricket and driving people to understand the game more, understand who the players are, who the personalities are. That's been the real defining moment. And to kind of walk out there and see that there wasn't a men's match on afterwards, or they were there. 86,000, whatever number you said.
174.
174 were there to see women's cricket. And they saw the two best teams of the competition.
Yeah, it was incredibly amazing. It feels like months ago since we did our tournament preview back at North Sydney Oval, but we have really loved bringing this to you for Centerstage on Crick Buzz. Thank you so much for staying with us all the tournament. I'm going to go and get Lise a jumper because she's freezing and some tissues in case she's going to cry. Don't cry.